Hi. I have not uploaded in a very long time. Not because I haven't wanted to, but also because I haven't wanted to. I've had a lot of computer difficulties. I upgraded my SSD and my RAM, and that had problems in its own because it kind of stopped iMovie from working, and that's the software I used. So eventually I've found some software that I can function with, and then I had an idea for a vlog. Yeah. So I filmed this vlog that I'm doing right now, 10th of May. And I filmed it on a corrupt SD card. So I have been painstakingly chipping away at filming snippets, like screen recording snippets, and trying to piece it together, which is very painful, which is why it's now July. And I've given up. Not completely, but mostly. I'm redoing the introduction. So that's what this garbled mess is. So, without further ado. So, what I wanted to talk about was, well, I commented on a video of somebody else's, of a YouTuber who I have followed for many years and have admired for many years. It was Jonna Jinton. So I commented on her video about she made a song out of the sounds of the ice, but what came from that comment, I thought nothing would come from it. I just wanted to share my thoughts and to kind of say thank you. Not expecting anybody to really read it because it was a very big comment. I will put the comment up here now so you can read. So, I thought nothing of it, but apparently 300 odd people liked it, which means 300 odd people took the time to read it enough to want to like my comment. I'm incredibly grateful that that many people just read what I wrote. And furthermore, I had about 19 people comment. And I wasn't aware that anybody had commented because of the way that the YouTube app did the notifications. I didn't see that people had replied to my comment for many months. So I think I wrote this comment years ago, like a year ago maybe, and then I didn't start noticing that there were comments for like 9 months. When I originally filmed this vlog, I went through and I read the comments, and for the first time on camera. So what clips I'm going to put up next is that it's going to be a little bit broken, a little bit messy, because I've had to obviously stitch it together piece by piece, and please please take my editing skills with a massive pinch of salt and give me a little slack because it's brand new software. Everything broke, but it's difficult. It's very difficult, but I can't refilm it. But I wanted my reaction to them on camera. So and like my initial reaction. So people who commented on the comments that I'm reacting to, those people, I have liked their comments as I was going through it. So back in May, dear people, if you were like, oh, she finally liked my comment, I was filming this at the time. And the reason I wanted to do it all on camera was because I didn't think writing a thank you to these people was sufficient enough, considering how long I had hadn't noticed the comments for. So I wanted to do something a little bit more personal. So hopefully that's what this is, and I'm going to stop myself there before I ramble on too much longer. And yeah, this is me reading those comments to my comment. If you haven't read my comment, go back, read it, so the rest of the video makes sense. So my very first comment, very simplistic, and it's enough sometimes, isn't it? Just a few words means a lot, and it's just somebody saying that I hope you're feeling better. And I kind of am, I'm kind of not, things are different, but we will see where we are in a few. Got another comment says, right, so what's this one say? I can't believe I read this whole comment, but it was definitely worth it. Thank you. This really captured my thoughts and made me pause for a moment, the comment and the video. I'll be praying for you, love, hoping that anything you're facing today will melt away even a little bit, but for a moment in time. That's really sweet. That's really sweet. And yeah, I can't believe you read the whole comment too. And I'm so glad that you think it was worth it. And I'm so glad that you feel like what I said you can connect with, and that you get it too. And that's always nice when somebody puts in tons of effort into writing and does something really heartfelt. It's always really nice to have somebody say, you know what, I get it, I feel that way too. I think as human beings, all we want is to connect with people. All we want is to feel understood. And I think if I were to write an autobiography or anything ever in the future, not that my life is interesting enough for that, but if I were to call it something, it would probably be based off the word understood, or to understand, because I think I spend most of my life wanting to be understood and wanting to understand other people, and I've just got this huge curiosity about people and emotions and the poetical and philosophical side of human life. So it's simple, you just saying that you felt it captured your thoughts and feelings too, because that's really important to me, that people feel that way. Right, the next comment, saying, I'm allergic to the pill, it changes my personality. I have heard that so much. It had a similar effect on my friend. It just, I can't believe that a contraceptive pill can do that to somebody, but it can be really damaging for some people. It's horrible, bless you. My husband says I'm mean, combative, angry, and withhold love. I have no libido, so I'm banned from taking it. It didn't have a huge personality effect on me, but the pill, it did do a lot of that to me as well. Just made me a bit cranky, and the libido thing as well. So, can't believe we willingly pump this stuff into our bodies sometimes. What? So I'm banned from taking it. For your own health, don't take it. If it doesn't do you any good, don't do it. I noticed that it does change my personality and took only a few weeks for my body to regulate the estrogen testosterone hormones to bring me back to normal. It's like a fog in my mind lifted. Yes, it was like, with all the headaches and stuff, I mean, it stopped them, yeah, but it was like a fog lifted. Yeah. And I can see it, so it was like a fog lifted in my mind. I can see again, I want you to know that you're not alone. Yeah, I felt that with what you said, yeah. Okay, next comment. Hey Lillian, this may be a little late to reply. It is not, because my reply is even later. I am usually quiet in the comments and keep my thoughts to myself, but as I read your comment, I'm feeling so connected to you. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you too. Wow. You know, I really feel that, because I don't normally comment on videos much too, and I've kind of told myself to do that more this year, you know, connect with people is kind of what I want to do in my life. And I'm so glad that you've done that with my comment, that my comment has obviously resonated with you enough that you want to comment. Okay, not gonna cry. Thank you. I'm so impressed by the way you express your inner feelings in words and how you can describe them so perfectly. I relate to you a lot at the moment. I've had some sort of burnout and depression, a lot of weights and worries on my shoulders, but I fight every day to find the strength to go on every day and continue continue living my way. I also feel like a sad machine at the moment, physically down, and it's hard to go to school. Last year of school, oh, that is the hardest. It's always the last year of any education. It's the hardest, always. Yeah, but I cannot quit. You know, slightly off topic, but slightly on topic. My third year of university was really hard. Really hard. I struggled with my degree. I struggled with my motivation to do my degree. I didn't really understand what my degree was until like the very last module I did, which was a placement, and I didn't kind of get it until that moment, and it like then suddenly everything just went boom, and I was like, oh my god, I know what it is. I get it. I know what it is to be an occupational therapist now. Wow. Took me 3 years, 3.5 actually, because I had to do some modules delayed. But I cannot tell you how many times I said I was going to quit. I even went to my personal tutors and I said, I can't do it anymore. I cannot do this anymore. I am not good enough at this. I don't understand what's going on. I hate it. I hate it. And I asked for them to find a way, if I could get, without finishing that last module of that placement, if I could get like a foundation degree in health and social care, so like a more of a generic sort of degree rather than a full bachelor's degree. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that, and my tutors convinced me to give it one more try. They said, have the summer off, give yourself some time, do stuff that you need to do for you, recover, and then try one more placement after summer. And if it doesn't work, then we'll go back to the drawing board and we'll see what other qualification we can get. But it would be like a diploma, not a foundation or not a foundation degree or like a generic degree. That it would be like doing just a year or two of college. It would have been like 3 whole years of university completely gone. And I did it. I did the placement and I loved it and I finally understood everything and it was all worthwhile, and it felt like the most profound moment. That's the key word for today. It was very poignant. Let's go with a different word. It was so poignant for me, and the fact that I survived all of that uni and then I ended up loving that placement is kind of where my tattoo ideas came from, which I could probably explain in another video, so I won't go into that right now. But these remind me that I came through all of that. So last year of school and wanting to quit, I get it, I really get it, but if I can do it, you can do it. Though that was 5 months ago, so you've probably done it, you probably survived it, and you've done great. I know you have. Yeah. Yeah, but I know I cannot quit. I know I would hate myself for that, so thank you. People like you remind me that I'm not the only person who is that way. I hope you're feeling better now and slowly getting more positive. We always forget that our passion and fascination keep us alive and that life can change. Lots of love to you. Next comment. I'm awestruck by your eloquence. Your story is such an interesting read. Just wow. I've never said this to anyone before, but I think you should totally write a book. Sorry. Well, what I just said earlier about, if I ever wrote an autobiography. But the fact that somebody thinks that I'm interesting enough for that is just a bit, wow, that's a lot for somebody who has some serious self-esteem issues. I told you I was going to cry eventually. I was hoping I wouldn't. It's just all, it's gratitude, it's tears of gratitude. I've never said this to anyone before, but I think you should totally write a book about your life or general thoughts about the universe if you're down for that. You know what? I have a Wattpad where I have a little book that's ongoing, and I think it's just Reflections. It's called Reflections, and it's kind of like a diary journal. I should have probably called it Dear Diary, but that's the most cliche title ever. And it's more analytical than that. It's not this happened and then this happened and then this happened. It's more about like this is what I've learned today, and I don't write in it every day. It's when something significant happens, or when I'm trying to really work through something and I can't figure it out. Sometimes the words just kind of go and they come out of me, and as I'm typing I suddenly make sense of everything. So if you are actually interested, I have a Wattpad. I think you might need a Wattpad account to read it. You shouldn't. You should be able to read it without having an account. Wow. That comment really hit me, because like I like writing. I've always liked, and you shouldn't say your goals out loud really, because it kind of makes you less likely to achieve them, because you've told people and it's like an expectation on yourself. So I won't go into detail, but I have always said that a life goal of mine is to write a book one day. So. Never read this big comment, but somewhere I relate with you, and yes, listening to I Sound and reading your comment was a bonus. I felt wide from heart, like my black heart is cracking like that ice and sun is shining through the cracks. You're an inspiration too. Soon with Jonna. God, I can't pronounce her name today. Sorry, I'm reading them for the first time, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm kind of like pausing in awkward places that I'm not making the sentences flow. But yeah. I like that, you know, feeling like your black heart is cracking and that the sunshine is coming through. It's like, yeah, oh god, I've got some really nice like symbolism and some visualization there with that comment. So it is, I'm really pleased that you feel inspired by my comment, and that it kind of feels like it's put a positive crack in your being. And I think that's also something that's quite an interesting concept, really. I mean, I talked about how I would see these cracks as flaws, and how I wanted, you know, for that to find a key to happiness, to fix everything, but actually I should not be seeing it as cracked and broken. I should be seeing it as a interesting pattern, and like neurons and that in the brain, you know, they grow and they develop over time and they make something more beautiful. You should be looking at the bigger picture. And I feel like your comment there is just making me think, you know, actually, I mean, I've always thought that I learn best through my failures, but I've never really thought that I need to fail. You know, you always want to succeed from the off start, and I just feel like that comment has made me think, actually, you know what, sometimes we do need to break. Like sometimes we need to let ourselves fail, because we can actually learn so much more about who we are and who we're not through messes than through everything going plain sailing, you know. if you're sailing on the ocean and you don't ever have a thunderstorm, how do you know that you're a good sailor? You know, you need to experience the bad weather to know that you're good at something, to prove to yourself that you can take the challenge and you can grow from it. I think it's just human nature that we love to be challenged. We're always searching for a new challenge and for a way to grow. And I recently watched a little what do you call it, animation, like a psychology animation about like different emotions that don't really have like, there's no name for it, but then there's these like fancy names that they've gone into, like, here's 7 emotions that you've never realized you've had before. You've all had them, but you didn't know what the name for them was. And one of the emotions that it kind of describes that is in that video. It's amazing. I'll link it in comments as well. People can go watch that, because that's really interesting, and it kind of connects a lot with what I was saying in my comment and what other people have been saying in their comments about all these different types of feelings. So next comment. Proud of you for being able to share this story. Thank you for opening a window into your life. I noticed this was posted many months ago and can only hope your life has gotten much better since. Best wishes. Thank you. It has. It's gotten better in various ways, and other ways I've fallen into old bad habits, but it's all part of the process. It's all part of the different cracks on the ice teaching me various different lessons, and one day it's going to make the most beautiful pattern when I look back at it all. But at the moment it's hard to see past each crack, but we'll get there. The pill has horrible effects on so many women and barely anyone talks about it. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, we do need to talk about it more, a lot more. I forgot about its effects after 3 years of depression. Of course, there were other reasons behind my depression as well, but the pill made my state of... Sorry, my screen just froze. Let's try that again. I think I need these. I think this might help. just for this comment, while my brain resets itself. Of course, there were many other reasons behind my depression, as well as the pill made my state of being so much more severe. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, I get that. I think, you know, the pill, I felt like a fog lifted once I stopped it, but, you know, there's no one cure to happiness. Yeah, after I got rid of those hormones, it was as if all the dark clouds over my head just disappeared and the weight in myself was lifted. My mind was blown and I was so angry for not trying it sooner. The pill had kept me from being myself for years. Yeah, that last sentence, that got me. Yeah, it does. I think a lot of us were just so used to it. I started on the pill when I was 15. I've always been on a combination pill. They had to take me off that because of my migraines, put me on progesterone only. That was horrible. My whole body just freaked out. And it was only because I changed from a combination pill to the progesterone only one, and then was told I can never have an estrogen again because I've had migraines, that I was like, alright then, I won't have any. Like, why do I need it? I'm not taking it for contraceptive purposes. I'm trying to take it to regulate my cycle and manage my acne, because I had it when I was 15 because I had difficulties with acne, and I was also just a complete and utter moody bitch. Ask my mum. Yeah, we're getting rid of those hormones. I was also angry for not having come off it sooner. I've always wanted to be more natural, more organic, and I hate relying on chemicals and products and stuff for your skin. And I have to admit, I'm slowly getting there with my skincare, but to do that I'm having to introduce more products. But I've done it with my hair, and I have so many products that I just never use because they're just not good for me, and they're just clearing and just getting rid of things. It feels so freeing to be free of all of these artificial things, and I think the contraceptive pill is a massive one for that. And not enough people consider it an option. They go, oh, my skin's bad, I'm grumpy, I'll take St. John's wort, I'll do exercise, I'll do this, I'll do that, and actually you just stop the pill. it might just clear the fog enough for you to realise where the problem really is. And I think for a lot of us that have mental health difficulties, the pill masks a lot of it. It can hide a lot of it. And I'm not glad a lot of you are feeling the same way, but I'm glad that there are other people feeling the same way. You know, I don't want people to be experiencing what we've all experienced, but it's nice to know we're not alone. And it's nice to hear other people saying coming off it has helped them. I mean, there's so many brilliant videos out there about how going on it has helped people, and it works for some people. It really, really works for some people, and that's fantastic. I mean, I used to be one of those people, but I'm so glad I stopped it. And yeah, I'm also angry I didn't do it sooner, because my body's still purging the effects of it, because I've been on it since I was 15 and I'm 27 now. My body is really freaking out trying to manage and produce its own hormones, and my body is purging so much. So like my acne, like it was so hormonal to begin with. Yeah, you know, the pill does really keep you from being yourself, and it's nice to hear that somebody else is kind of felt that way too. But not nice to that you felt that way, but you know that you've also come to that conclusion. You know what I mean. Okay, next comment. Oh, that's so sweet. My soul recognises yours. I understand the words you spoke. I feel, felt, and know that pain, as if we were telling almost the same story. It's all too common, isn't it? To hear another soul express it, though, it breaks my heart with tears in my eyes that you know of this pain, and I can relate much to. I can so much relate to. I'm welling up again. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? How when you feel those sort of things, you just go, it's not worth telling anybody about. My problems don't matter. I'm getting upset over something insignificant. Why am I upset? Why does this bother me? Look at how much is going on in the world and how worse off other people are. I should be lucky. I am lucky. I should be grateful. And, you know, even within the depression, I've always thought I'm lucky. I've always known how lucky I am. I've always been grateful for what I've got, but I've just been bitter about it. And then the depression, you just go in a really, really, really vicious cycle with it all. Yeah, but whenever somebody else says it and you go, wow, I get that, it just kind of validates what you feel, and it just makes you think, oh my God, it's okay for me to feel like that. I'm not being a heartless bitch or a selfish bitch or whatever. Yeah, I think it's really important that we should all share our stories more and realise that we're not alone. I mean, a lot of us know more about different types of mental health and understand the symptoms of depression and anxiety and the more complex mental health conditions out there. But I think we all need to open up start a conversation a bit more about why we're feeling that way. You know, even if it feels ridiculous that you're crying because the toaster broke and that means you can't have your crumpets that day and your crumpets were the one thing you were looking forward to. You know, even if it sounds pathetic, you know, if there's somewhere that you can share that story, somewhere safe, because not everywhere on the internet is safe, I have to say. There are places where you should not comment certain things because you'll get the trolls come along and they'll just rip you a new one. And that's a whole other level of mental health difficulties. They have their own problems and they need to figure that shit out. And I don't understand why they're doing it, but I could kind of get why somebody would think that makes, you know, why they would come to the conclusion of it's okay to do that. It is not okay to do that, but I've always strived to understand from everybody's point of view. So I have sat there and thought, I wonder what the bully thinks. I wonder what the troll thinks. And, you know, they have a backstory, and you got to feel sorry for some of those parts, but that doesn't excuse their behaviour, you know. All of us have been through shit, and some of us did not turn out to be little shits. Rant over. Yeah, carry on. Finish reading the comment. I can relate so much too. I just want you to know that you are loved from someone that understands, and never give up on yourself, because you are you are special and you matter. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. And the next comment, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and words. Love heart. Thank you. Next comment, you're an amazing person. I hope you feel better, and much love. God. Next comment, thank you for expressing this. So many of us can relate. Much love. Much love. Love is the answer. Yeah, it is. Love is definitely the answer. And one key thing that we all seem to forget is that love comes in multiple forms, and there are multiple different ways to love someone and different ways to love yourself. Next comment, right. I used to get extremely depressed on the pill. I just had to stop as I lost me. Yeah. To feel happy, we have to allow our bodies to communicate to us, be it hormonally, circadian, or seasonally. I hope you keep listening in. That's really interesting. You're right. You're so right. We really do need to listen to our bodies, and like hormonally as well. We really do need to listen to our bodies, and I am really bad at not listening to my body. I just want a quick fix. I just want things to I want to seek validation from other people. I'm deep and meaningful and really reflective, but I'm also extremely superficial. And wow, I don't think I've ever actually admitted that to anyone. But I am. I'm quite superficial. I mean, there's a balance with it, especially like in relationships. You might look for a certain aesthetic, a type, a visual type, but you know, that's ruined if what's on the inside it doesn't match. You know, the balance between the two, and you got to do that within yourself. And I am rubbish at doing that when you're talking about the relationship with yourself. You've got to actively do that. And over the last year-ish, maybe 6 months actually, I've been exploring my spiritual side more, and that is like the hardest, sorry, keep hearing noises, that is like the hardest part of religion and spiritualness. It is that checking in on yourself, that reflection, and being in touch with my body. I'm really bad at it, and I really want to get into mindfulness. And not mindfulness, meditation, really struggling with that. I've got to sit myself down and do it. I've just got to force myself to do it. But then if I'm forcing myself to do it, I'm not going to be in the right headspace to do it. So I'm in another vicious cycle with that one. But yeah, we gotta keep listening in and writing and reflecting. That is a really brilliant way to do that, and that can be mindful in itself. So that is almost like mini meditation. I think we think meditation is going to be great, but actually mindfulness is a great way to get very similar effects. Next comment. Lillian, you have been given the gift of a keen eye for observation and seeing beauty. Not everyone has that. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that actually means a lot to me, because I've always thought that I'm quite observant, but I can be really ignorant at times too, so I doubt my observantness. And you know, the fact that you think that you can see that from my comment, I really appreciate that. Yeah. Next comment. When I read things like this, it reminds me I'm not alone in my own battle with depression. And when I see the level of depth a person can have when it comes to insight and seeing the world from a different angle, it reminds me that in such a shallow world with such shallow people, there are still those who think on that deep wavelength, and that humanity hasn't completely lost our ability to see the poetic nature and beauty of it all. I like the way you worded that. Yeah. That has some depth in it too, doesn't it? But I think that's key, actually. If you've got depression, a lot of people think, how do I say this? You can have depression and be really insightful. but you can still be profoundly stuck in that depression, even with the insight. Some people don't really realize that that can happen. It can. You can be, oh yeah, I know these thoughts are ridiculous. I know that they're illogical, but I still feel it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to, like, put a light on. Hang on. Next comment. Couldn't say it better myself, but agree 100%. Thank you. Next comment. Ooh, clicking wrong things. I hope and pray that you are okay now. Thank you. Okay. And then, oh, we're on the last comment. I'm late to the party, but I thought I should mention this. I've been on the pill since high school, and my dosage remained the same. As I got older, depressive episodes and emotional trauma rammed me every week before my period, and it sucked. I talked to my doctor. Turns out, if the body has too much of a hormone, it can cause this feeling. I'm on a lower dose now, and the difference in my health and mental state is incredible. To anyone who reads this, if you are on any kind of hormone and you are experiencing mental health issues, see your doctor immediately. I wish I had sooner. You know, I really think that that's something, that's a theme in this, and it's something that we all need to do more of. I had a friend who was on the pill and she really struggled, and she went to her GP. I think she had a little difficulty in getting them to listen to her at first, but not all doctors and GPs are like that. You know, you just gotta ask. You are the expert in your body. You know what you're feeling, you know what's right and what's not right, and the only way you're gonna know that though is if you check in on yourself, which I'm really bad at, so I will preach and I will learn to practice what I preach. Yeah, we need to be more aware of this. It's such a frustrating topic. It's really, the worst part is, this is where the feminist in me comes out. It's like, oh yeah, we'll pump these drugs into women, but the contraceptive pills they tried to give to men, and they went, too many side effects, I'm not gonna do it. But actually, there's I'm paraphrasing a lot there, and it makes it sound really nasty. I don't mean it like that. There's so much more. It's more complex than that. There's a really amazing Netflix program, like a documentary, like Explained, like, and they did like a Sex Explained series, and they talked about the contraceptive pill, and oh my god, it blew my mind. Anybody who's watching this, who's come here because we're talking about contraceptive pills and mental health, I really, really, really recommend you watch this program because I learned a lot. Yeah, okay. Wow. I read them all. Wow. I've got to think of a reply because I want to reply to all of you. I want to let you all know that I have read your comments, which you should all know because I've liked them, so you should get a notification. It might come to you 3 months later though, because it did with me. But I'm so glad I read them all now. Like, I feel like it's more, it feels like fate. Like, it's more relevant and more impacting to have read all of these comments all at once right now, a year after I wrote my first comment and 5 months after you all started writing your comments. I feel like that has to mean something, and if I feel like it does mean something, and this is making me want to like really put myself out there and talk about how I feel more, and maybe video about how I feel more, though for me writing is a lot easier than talking, because the responses, this is really good, like that you all felt that you've got something from what I said, and I've definitely got something from everything that all of you have said. I just, so much gratitude for this. And thank you for all the really kind comments about how I write and that how I've been open and honest and shared. And I'm so grateful for you taking your time to reply. I'm also extremely grateful for the 314 people that have liked my comment. It feels really significant to how we are now and what's going on in the world. That connection is so much more important right now, and I know you've all heard that, and I could go off on a cheesy speech about how we need to be connected, and stay connected with each other in the world and check in on each other, because now is a really hard time, because the human race is a social race. We are a very social being, and we were not made to be completely alone. And you know, some of us more introverted people are quite comfortable being alone for long periods, but this quarantine and lockdown is taking the biscuit. And that just everywhere you go is a constant reminder of the state that the world is in, and I'm finding it harder and harder to find things that I connect with and that are inspiring me. I'm not getting that inspiration at the moment, and wow, reading these comments right now is just what I needed. I don't know why I'm doing that when I'm saying that, but reading these comments, rereading my comment, and reading your responses and seeing how many people have liked it has just made me think, God, this is what I needed to inspire me, is to make me feel connected with the world again, because I have surely felt very disconnected for a long time. And I'm hoping that this is the beginning of another epiphany. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. I'm just going to keep rambling if I don't shut up. So I'm just going to keep going around in circles saying the same thing without saying anything at all. So I'm going to stop this here. I cannot thank you all enough. So yes. I'm going to stop. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. God, ending these videos is always awkward. Bye!